My son's recently started watching Avatar: The Last Airbender for the first time. And it's been really cool seeing them interact with characters that meant a lot to me growing up, like Aang, Sokka, Zuko, and others. Since I work from home, I've been able to pop in and catch glimpses of the show, like the part where Aang rides the Unagi or the secret tunnel song in the Cave of Two Lovers. But then something happened that I didn't expect. Watching the show through their eyes changed how I saw one character in particular, Uncle Iroh. To them, Iroh is gentle and funny. He drinks tea and gives advice when things go wrong. He's safe. And they're not wrong, but that's also not the whole story. And it's not even the most important part about who Uncle Iroh is. Uncle Iroh is often remembered as the wise old man, a sort of philosophical mentor, a dispenser of quotes that get passed around online, stripped of context and weight. And when we remember him that way, when we flatten him into just the nice one, we miss something crucial. Because Iroh is not gentle because he's harmless. He's gentle because he's disciplined. He's not peaceful because he's weak. He's peaceful because he knows exactly what violence costs. Uncle Iroh is not a pacifist who's never known war. He's a warrior who survived it. Because anyone can be peaceful when they're incapable of harm, but it takes an entirely different kind of strength to be capable of violence and still choose restraint. Before Uncle Iroh is the man that we meet in the series, he was a Fire Nation general, the Dragon of the West. He led armies and laid siege to Ba Sing Se. He was respected, feared, and powerful, and this wasn't theoretical violence. This was real war, with death and real consequences. And then, he lost his son. That loss is the quiet center of Iroh's character, not because it made him sad, but because it broke the illusion that conquest and honor could protect what mattered most. Iroh didn't abandon strength after that. He abandoned the illusion about what strength is for, and that's an important distinction. Modern stories often treat redemption as a personality swap. The violent man becomes gentle because he learned a lesson. But Iroh doesn't forget about who he was. He carries it with him as a part of him. He doesn't pretend that the fire never burned. He just learned how to better control it. One of the most overlooked things about Uncle Iroh is how dangerous he still is, and we see flashes of it in the show. He breaks out of prison and stands toe-to-toe with elite firebenders. He's physically imposing, mentally sharp, and tactically brilliant even in old age. Nothing has been taken from him, but everything has been mastered, and that's what makes his restraint meaningful. Iroh's kindness isn't softness, it's discipline. It's the kind of self-control that comes from knowing what you're capable of and refusing to be ruled by it. In a lot of modern storytelling, strength is loud, it's angry, it's reactive. Characters prove how powerful they are by how quickly they're willing to hurt somebody. Iroh proves his strength by how rarely he needs to. There's a famous saying that's often attributed to Japanese swordsman Miyamoto Musashi. It's better to be a warrior in a garden than a gardener in a war. The point isn't that violence is good, it's that peace without capability is fragile. Iroh embodies that idea perfectly. He cultivates joy, tea, music, conversation, small moments of beauty. He doesn't do this because he's escaped the world. He does this because he understands how easily the world destroys those things. The garden matters because he has seen war, and that's why he fights when it truly counts. Not for pride, not for conquest, but for balance. Nowhere is this clearer than in his relationship with Zuko. Iroh doesn't force Zuko to change. He doesn't shame him or dominate him like his brother Ozai. He doesn't pretend to have all the answers. He waits. He offers guidance when it's welcome and silence when it's not, and correction only when it's necessary. That's incredibly rare in fiction. Most mentor figures exist to push the plot forward or deliver exposition, but Iroh exists to model a way of being. He understands something essential. Redemption can't be imposed. Zuko doesn't change because Iroh lectures him into it. He changes because Iroh shows him, patiently and consistently, what a changed man looks like. Strength without cruelty, authority without domination, wisdom without arrogance. This is the part that often gets ignored. Iroh's wisdom isn't free. It cost him his son, his place in the Fire Nation's hierarchy, his old identity. He doesn't use it to win arguments or assert moral superiority. He uses it to serve, to protect the people around him from repeating his mistakes. In a culture obsessed with being right, Iroh is more interested in making himself useful, and that alone makes him stand out. When I rewatched Avatar with my kids, his character really resonated with me, and I think he resonated because he runs counter to a lot of modern character trends. We're told that heroes need to be broken, bitter, or morally compromised to feel real. He's not naive, he's not pure, he's not untouched by the darkness, but he's a man who confronted his worst self and chose to be better without denying who he really was. That's not boring, that's incredibly rare. When my sons watch Uncle Iroh, they see warmth and safety, but what I eventually hope they come to understand is this: that warmth is earned, that safety is protected. Uncle Iroh is not asking us to lay down our swords forever. He's asking us to be honest about why we pick them up in the first place. Because real strength isn't found in domination, it's found in discipline. Uncle Iroh is remembered as a gentle man, but he's gentle in the way that only warriors can be. He stands in the garden not because he forgot how to fight, but because he understands when not to. And in a world that constantly confuses cruelty for power, that might just be the strongest thing of all.